2024 was inarguably been one of the PlayStation 5's greatest year thus far, with a handful of all-timers providing exceptional additions to its list of platform or console exclusives. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, appearing on Sony's current-gen console, continues with aplomb, Cloud and the gang's odyssey beyond Midgar. And despite the likely inaccurate rumors that sales have been disappointing, its reputation as one of the best Final Fantasy games of all time cannot be tarnished.
No sign of Shinra.
Yeah. Looks like an old Republic landing.
Could borrow a boat, make our way across. Then, head on through the mines and keep going till we hit Junon.
Stellar Blade, despite the odd bit of jank, is a combat-centric sci-fi adventure which borrows elements of its swordplay from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice but remixes it with style and approachability to present one of the most enticing new IPs to emerge in recent years. Our Game of the Year, Silent Hill 2 Remake, preserves the original's relentlessly oppressive atmosphere, music, and sound design to provide an experience worthy of the iconic original's legacy. Then, of course, there's Astrobot, the plucky robot mascot's latest adventure which crams a ton of ideas into its gameplay and gobbled up a handful of industry-leading awards for good measure. Despite the growing list of exceptional platform and console exclusives, we say console exclusive as of course some of these games have also appeared on PC, it still feels as though PlayStation 5 is underperforming slightly. Sure, it's taken the console a long time to get to this stage due to the persistent hangover the coronavirus pandemic imposed on the industry, but even with the PS5's growing library of games, the release of the PS5 Pro, and the reported target-beating sales of PlayStation Portal, Sony's current generation still isn't hitting the heights we all expected following the PlayStation 4's world-dominating success. However, Sony's prior generation excelled thanks to a wealth of incredible exclusives. Given the exclusives confirmed and rumored for 2025, PlayStation 5 might finally reach its zenith. Of those with 2025 releases, Ghost of Yotei, Sucker Punch's follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, plunges new protagonist Atsu into a still feudal Japan some 300 years after the events of its predecessor. This one is a guaranteed hit as Sony is going to get for its upcoming PS5 exclusives. Death Stranding 2, confirmed for 2025, sees Sam Porter Bridges, now gray and old, will face a stronger, phantasmagorical threat in a sequel sure to be stuffed with an overabundance of Kojima cinematics. Then there's the lesser-known PS5 and PSVR 2 exclusive, The Midnight Walk, coming from Lost in Random developers Moonhood. Here you'll take command of a recently exhumed Burnt One to travel down a perilous highway stalked by all manner of nightmarish creatures. There's a Steam page for this one, so it'll come to PC too. Then there's action RPG Ballad of Antara, coming from developer Tipsworks Studio, where players will command a cast of characters, dubbed emissaries by the studio, to traverse 2 cosmic worlds. Of the other 7 PS5 exclusives that are tentatively slated but not yet confirmed for release this year, highlights include Bungie's sci-fi extraction shooter reboot Marathon, fast-paced hack-and-slash role-player Phantom Blade Zero, Insomniac Games' latest superhero adaptation Wolverine, and Fair Games, a competitive heist game whereby you undertake Robin Hood-style missions to steal from the rich and then give to the poor. We also have Journey with Hoverboard's Sword of the Sea, Wuxia's open-worlder where winds meet, and the game most of you are hotly anticipating, Intergalactic, although it's touch and go if it'll emerge from deep space before 2025 is out. Intergalactic is first-party studio Naughty Dog's upcoming IP, of course, and while their newest title has been announced, there's a handful of other Sony first parties with unannounced titles in the works. God of War developer Santa Monica Studio teased their first new IP in almost 20 years last August, although this tease isn't confirmation of something brand new. It could be a reboot of their futuristic racer Kinetica, but this seems unlikely. Another God of War title will almost certainly occur, and as it happens, Santa Monica Studio are also working on an unannounced narrative combat game as well as this new IP. If this is the next God of War, all signs point to it being a PlayStation 6 release, and thus definitely not this year. Hopefully, 2025 at least yields more information on what Santa Monica Studio has under their sleeve. As one of the most revered developers under Sony's umbrella, any new title in 2025 will propel an already promising year into the biggest year for PS5 on record, as per the title of this feature. Bend Studio are also working on something new, a AAA live service game. Now pivoting to genres outside of a studio's oeuvre might strike fear in a workforce. Just look at Rocksteady's plummeting reputation following their doomed Suicide Squad game. Live service games themselves have a growing reputation for existing on a knife edge. Just ask Firewalk Studios, for whom no amount of exorbitant budget could save them following Concord's notorious failure. But still, Bend Studio have heaps of goodwill, much like Rocksteady, following their now cult favorite zombie story, Days Gone. And whilst many will lament the lack of a Days Gone sequel, or indeed a Days Gone remaster, there's a ton of promise on this live service game that they have in the works. The most up-to-date information states that the game is still in pre-production, so, like Santa Monica Studios' new IP, far from guaranteed to come out in 2025. Then we have remake extraordinaries and Sony partner studio Bluepoint Games, whom we know are working on something. With Bluepoint themselves saying it's an original title, we can at least invalidate the likelihood of this being another remake akin to Demon's Souls or Shadow of the Colossus. Furthermore, the studio's head of technology, Peter Dalton, has reaffirmed their commitment to working on something original, so it does seem unlikely it'll be a reboot or something pre-existing. It'd be great to have some more information, but as Dalton points out, everything takes time. Will it be released this year? Will it even be revealed in 2025? Now, apologies if there's a lot of speculation in this feature. Alongside the already announced titles, we don't know for certain what's coming this year. But instead of just publishing rumors and calling it a day, we can end things on an optimistic note. Sony, unlike years gone by, nowadays tends to announce release dates that aren't too far in the future. Astro Bot's release date was announced, and lo and behold, a few months later, it's upon us. If Sony announces any release dates for their upcoming games before, say, late summer, chances are they'll be with us before 2025 is out. Assessing the games in the pipeline, plus the titles in the works from its most storied studios, then 2025 is quite possibly going to surpass the already great year that 2024 was. It could even go down as PlayStation 5's biggest year for exclusives, if not the greatest in its life cycle so far.
And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.